Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Joaquin Loper, and welcome back to Breaking Through the Noise podcast. Woo! Clapping for myself. Hey, look, I am excited. I am so excited today. Today we have the world-renowned author, future best-selling author, wife and comedian and mother, and did I mention author? We have Stacey Loper in the house.
Hello, everyone. Hello. It's good to be back on the podcast again.
Yes. Now look, today I'm not going to know Stacey. This is me interviewing an author whose book is really, really good. I had the opportunity, just by happenstance, to be able to first one to read this book fresh out the press. And I'm telling you, it's a good book. It's a good book. I think I might be a little biased, but I need for you to choose for yourself and go buy the book. But we'll get to that.
So, with that being said, you do think you're a little biased on whether or not it's good or, impactful?
No, I don't. I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not. Anyone who knows me, I'm blessed with the curse of being honest.
Yes, he is.
So
Yeah.
I have no problem telling someone if it's not good or good.
Yeah.
And from the outside looking in, it's a very, very good read. It really is. The read not only gives you an insight into who Stacy is and who Stacy has grown up to be and through what she's grown up through, but it also makes you reflect on your own life. And yeah, it's a good project. I can't wait for you all to read this project and really, really, really give your opinion to Stacey. I know that if I'm correct, you will love to hear their perspective and their reactions to the
For
book.
sure. I want your honest feedback. I am definitely seeking honest feedback because my purpose behind Soft is to impact lives, is to make it more than a memoir and for it to be a movement.
Okay. All right. So now that we have Stacey back on the podcast, I'm not gonna allow her to run nothing. You know, she has a tendency. She try to take over stuff. Today, you are a guest. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yes,
Please
sir.
remember that.
Yes, sir.
So Stacey, how have you been?
I have been well. A little tired, but all is well. I am really enjoying this journey to Soft and can't wait. And I'm so excited to see the outcome.
Awesome. And if I get this correct, doing my research on you, this is your second book. Am I correct on that?
That would be correct. This
Okay.
is my second book. My first book's title is Total Surrender.
Hmm. Total surrender.
Yeah.
Oh. So, okay. Since we're here, go a little bit more deeper into that. Total surrender from what?
Total surrender from everything. Everything that keeps you held captive and in bondage to life, period. It's your career, your leadership, your marriage, your children, coexisting in a world where there are so many things that play a part in your trauma, your surrender, your healing. And it takes every aspect of your life and consumes it with Christ and allows you to step up and truly say, God, I trust you. I trust you in whatever it is you're doing in this season of my life, whether it is a season of my parenting or a season of me being a wife, or is it a season of me being a friend, or is it a season of me walking in a different form of leadership that I am not used to? That's what total surrender. It is surrendering every aspect of your life and trusting God's plan, purpose for your life.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Since you put it that way,
Mhm.
I know we're here to talk about the new project, but how could I get a copy of the first book if I wanted to, and get a good read in with that as well?
Total Surrender is available on my website at www.staceyloper.com, and it is also available on Amazon as well.
Okay. All right. So look, before we discuss the new project, this is your second time back, and I thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
How is the family?
The family is great. The boys has kept us going. It's swim and it's track and it's show choir and then track again and then swim again. It has just been so much. And then from the career standpoint, I've been pretty busy doing some professional development in the midst of marketing for Soft and it has been a lot, but the family is well.
How's your husband? How's the amazing man that you're married to?
Oh, the amazing man that I'm married to is just amazing. He's
No need to
he,
Add anything to it. Huh?
he's taking it all in stride. He's being everything that we need him to be, from husband to father to friend to, even sometimes our counselor. He's just stepping in those roles and taking them on with stride. He really is.
What has his role been in, if any, in this new project? How has he pushed you in being what you need from him to be in this new project?
He's been quiet when he's needed to be quiet, but he's also been so supportive in the midst of it. What do you need from me? What can I do? Especially from this marketing journey of us marketing the book, me as an indie author, trying to get it out there. He has been networking for me. He's been, I mean, just really putting the foot forward and putting some of his things to the side so that we can focus on what is best for Soft right now. Um, so he has been pivotal in this project from beginning to now and future,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
that's good. That's good to know he's playing his role. That's how he's playing his role.
If that's
Uh,
the way you want to put it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's playing his role. He's your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah, he is definitely my biggest cheerleader.
Could you
So supportive.
could you speak on that from a marriage perspective? How important is it for spouses to be the loudest cheerleader in the corner of their spouse?
Your spouse being the loudest cheerleader, you don't hear all of the other noise, that when your spouse steps up and is everything that you need, even in those moments of doubt, even in those moments when you just want to give up, but your spouse is saying, no, no, this is purposed. You submitted to this, you surrendered to this. When you hear that more than you hear either the negativity or the
Yeah,
pull from everybody else, you don't hear that noise as much when you have someone that is there daily to encourage you, to exalt your project as
yeah,
well. Like all of that other noise is just completely drained out because all you hear is, you got this, babe, or this is going to be phenomenal. This is going to be a success. Everything else doesn't even matter.
yeah.
It really doesn't when you have a spouse. And that spouse allows you to truly see yourself for who you are and who God is calling you to.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I asked about the family, and we
Mhm.
talked about the boys, and we spoke about the husband. Many followers and onlookers out there really don't get a chance to see the oldest two, Megan and Morgan, the daughters. How are they doing?
Getting on my last nerve. They are, well, I'll say this. Our oldest daughter, Megan, she's played a pivotal role in the marketing and assisting me in this whole project since it launched, or since it is launching on April the 21st. She has been so supportive and so encouraging. And, Mom, what is it you need from me this week? Or Mom, what can I do? And Morgan is just really walking in her role as a mom and her career right now as an educator and in school, and she's just wearing so many hats right now
Yeah.
that she doesn't fade into the background. We have our conversations here and there, but she still hears like, okay, we're doing this, right? I was like, yeah, baby, we're doing this. Like, Mom, you're doing this. Like, yeah, Mom's doing this.
And I know they have been a big part of um, this project coming from a personal standpoint of who you've grown into be, right?
Who I've grown into be as a mother. I
Yeah,
speak to that because I was raised by a mom who were surviving.
yeah,
It was more surviving than it was love. And Megan and Morgan have been a huge part of me becoming soft, me
yeah.
me being that mom that, and I'll be honest with you all, they have been pivotal in me becoming the mom that I feel like every child would want.
Mm.
And I mean, that just gives me chills, and it just, I mean, almost makes me want to cry because there are so many children walking around that don't have a relationship with their mom.
Yeah.
And I was one, I didn't have daddy issues, I had mommy issues. And Megan and Morgan are the first ones that helped me kind of resonate with, I don't want my kids to grow up with mommy issues. I want it to be more. I want it to be better.
So they don't have mommy issues. They just want mommy crazy.
Oh yeah, they just know their mama. Yeah, their mama about it.
Whatever. I wanted they agree with that.
Ask them. They will tell you.
But no, that's beautiful. And from what I hear you saying, you have a great relationship with your daughters.
I do. I have a great relationship with all of my kids.
Awesome. Side note, what is your perspective on marriage today?
Marriage is a covenant, and marriage comes with some expectations that sometimes I feel like, from the individual perspective, we have not learned how to live up to. Okay. Marriage is good. Marriage is that covenant that is good because it has been ordained by God. It is the two people that are coming together that bring the chaos, the trauma, these expectations aren't met. A man is supposed to protect. He is supposed to be your security. He is supposed to be like, we come with these expectations of what he is supposed to look like as my husband. We come with these expectations of what she is supposed to look like as my wife. And we distort those because of our experiences, and we bring all of this baggage into it from what we've seen, what we've heard. And some people get it right, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Some people get it right, and they have been reared in a way to where they've seen different. Some of us, that wasn't the case. But marriage is good. And when the two come together, it is a choice, it is a decision to come together, have those conversations of what those expectations look like to you. And I wholeheartedly, when you get married, my biggest thing is, what does God call you as a wife?
Mm.
What does God call you as a husband?
Yeah.
And initially in this marriage, I did not go in and truly submit to that. But I'm telling you, like, when I submitted to that, it marriage was exactly what God made it. That covenant, that good. He says, when he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And when I was able to tap into what God called me as a wife, oh, my husband has a good thing. He got a good thing.
Well, I think I'll ask him that when I meet him.
Okay, heard.
See if he
Heard.
see if he agrees with that as well. But with you saying that and having read the book, do you feel that, and this is not being biased, this is not
Okay.
picking sides, do you feel that women walk in their femininity and their softness enough?
No, I don't. I believe that they don't because they don't know how, and they don't have someone walking next to them to help pull that femininity out to a baby. You don't have to be that anymore.
Yeah.
They're bringing these women are coming outside of a world that have always taught them that their femininity was going to be taken advantage of, that their vulnerability was going to be used against them. And in some relationships, men do use a
Yeah.
woman's vulnerability against her.
I agree.
So it's very difficult for her to walk in that femininity if she does not have that support from that man who is walking alongside her and she's walking alongside him. So yeah, I do feel like that was my struggle. That was truly my struggle. It was a hustle. It was making sure I made sure the bills were paid, that money came in the house, that these things. I did not have that person walking beside me saying, baby, you ain't got to do this alone. He made me feel more like I had to do it. Or
And
if I didn't do it, we weren't gonna have it.
in your current marriage or your previous marriage?
Previous marriage. So that's how.
I just want to make sure the husband now understands,
Yeah, my previous marriages, that's why they're previous. That is why they're previous. Let's get that clear, okay?
All right, back to the project. Didn't see that little plan coming.
Hey.
Okay, one more question. Is it equally as important for the men and husbands to know how to walk in their softness as well.
Oh my God, equally, if not more important, for a man to walk in his vulnerability alongside a woman who is going to support him, who is going to be his cheerleader, who is going to ensure that he is leading in every aspect of their marriage. Does not matter who makes the most money. It does not matter who has the better career. That man is still the head of your house.
Yeah,
And if you are out of order, then your marriage will show it.
I like that. I like that. Do you think your husband has really found his area of not softness as you all have grown?
Yes, I do feel my after. So we've been married almost 18 years. I think he found his softness after 15.
It's a good number.
I mean, that's just my thought. That's just my opinion. Okay? After 15 years, he finally.
Could his softness been found through that beautiful little granddaughter that I've seen you all?
You know what? Probably was. It was probably Leilani who bought that softness out of that man. Thank you, Morgan. Thank you, Morgan. Go, baby. Yes.
Okay, and since we're there, seriously, what kind of impact do you think this project Soft is going to play on your granddaughter and your grandkids?
Oh my gosh.
Because they get to see what does your granddaughter call you?
Yeah, yeah.
So they get to see Yaya in a totally different light.
They do. My grandchildren will see me differently. They will always see generational wellness. They won't see generational brokenness. And
How,
that's what I pray that Soft takes into the next generation.
yeah.
This book is not just for the 44-year-old who has been walking in survival. This book is for the 16-year-old who feels that she doesn't understand why mom is the way that she is. This book is for the 22-year-old who is struggling with having a child and not knowing how ends are going to meet and I gotta hustle, I gotta grind, but then how do I love my child? Again, love, showing that love and what that looks like for your child.
What does that mean with this softness? I read a few paragraphs in there, and they stand out to me with you saying that is learning how to love and forgive yourself, so you
Yeah.
don't make some mistakes that will further kind of take you down the rabbit hole.
Yes, you have to forgive yourself for having to live in survival mode. Like you have to tap into that new person, but you gotta understand the why behind I had to be surviving all this time and not thriving.
How do how does one, as a young lady in today's world, with all the distractions and all of the lures pulling at them, how do they find their why?
First, I say guard your gates, your ears, your eyes, your mouth, what goes in, what comes out, what you're seeing. Okay. A lot of that plays a huge part in why our young women today see themselves as they do. And because they hear it so much and because they are letting that into their souls, into their spirit, that's what they're living out. They don't hear enough that you have your entire life ahead of you. What they're not being asked, what is it that you want? And how can I help you get there?
What about even the people that hang around, even family? When I was reading the book, it really touched me in some moments where you had to step away from your own family. And those were places that I even had to understand. Stepping away
Mhm.
from my family showed me a lot of trauma-based habits, but it also showed me a lot of strengths that I could stand on. But when you take yourself away from certain people, it isolates you to stand on who you are, not how you are with them, but who you are.
Yes, when you step outside of places, people, and things, you begin to see yourself differently. Because too often we are looking at how this person sees me, what this person feels like I should be doing, or I'm living up to some expectations that my mom has placed on me or that my dad has placed on me,
Yeah.
or this need to fulfill what mama didn't fulfill. You know, they're living their
Yeah.
lives vicariously through you because they didn't do as well. And so they're putting all of this pressure on you to perform. Your femininity is not about performance. Your surrender is not performance. Your surrender and your femininity is presence. It is showing up in what God has called you to. And when you show up, all of the noise of everything and everybody else has to be completely drowned out, and you have to know what God has called you.
That's tough though. That with all of that coming at you, they kind of um goes against being soft in a fleshly or humanistic way of receiving it. Now, if I'm soft and know who I am, I get what you're saying. All that coming at you and you just know who you are and it bounces off of you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not able to be soft, how can a young lady or a young man accept the vow and the rejection of people that they think should love them or they want to love them when they're walking out, when they're walking in their own presence, in their own
I'm not sure I understand the question.
um as a young man, I'm thinking back about when I really stepped away from trying to people please
Mm-hmm.
and being even as a husband, I had to be the husband that my wife needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it felt like I was hardening because of the things that were coming at me from the people that I thought should be there for me.
You felt like you were hardening.
Yes, I felt like my guards were going up. I was
Mm-hmm.
putting the guards up again. It didn't feel like I was getting soft because in those moments of change, I didn't feel like I was walking in that purpose. I think that's what's the confusing part of people when they read this book. When they read this book soft and they understand how you went through it, they'll never understand how you went through it and the struggles of it, the struggles of the loneliness,
Mm-hmm.
the struggles
Mm-hmm.
of the feeling uncertain.
I think so. Let's talk about lonely and uncertainty. When I began to truly walk in my femininity and walk in my surrender, it was true. Everybody's rock bottom is different. And I think that's
Yeah,
where
yeah,
I think that's where the soft really comes in is
yes.
when I hit my rock bottom, you know what my cry was? My cry was like, now I have to take my hands off of it because God, I need you to save me.
Okay. Oh, right there.
I can't do
That's it.
this. It was about a true like releasing of everything, that yielding. That's what it is. It's that
Yeah.
yielding to like something has to be better than this.
So,
Like something has to be
so
better.
in that yielding, that's what I was trying to get at. I didn't know how to really vocally put it. In that yielding, how difficult was it not to go back to your normalcy?
Ah, Once God starts working in your life and you start seeing that that with a whole bunch of crap, okay? And we realize that our own decisions was
Mhm.
what caused all of that to continue to go on. You'd be like, why didn't I tap into this a little bit
Yeah.
earlier? And then people don't understand media, social media, people don't see that often. They don't see the surrender and what comes out of that. All they see is the chaos. They see the trauma.
Yeah.
They see the back and forth of all of this mess that's flying around them. They don't see the complete hands in the air. I am done with this because there has to be something better.
Yeah.
And I promise you that was it for me. My rock bottom is not your rock bottom. My soft is not your soft. My hardness is not may not be somebody else's hardness. But when you hit rock bottom, you will know that you are there.
Mm.
You will know because it's personal. And it becomes so personal
Yeah.
that you were like, ain't no way this has to be my life.
Yeah.
I can't continue to live like this.
Yeah.
I can't.
So with that being said,
Mhm.
your new project Soft, how did this title come about? With you just talking about hidden rock and allowing God to walk you through these things and you become the person you are more feminine, more loving, more self-aware, soft. How did that come about?
Soft came about because I felt like I needed something to bounce back on. And that's where that softness comes from. It's almost like landing on this pillow or this inflatable and being able to bounce back up and know God's got you. God's got you. I didn't see that in my mom. I never saw her take a moment to bounce back from anything. She never rested. It was never rest for her. It was always going and going and going and going. And she did that to us. It was always, if we weren't moving, if we weren't doing something, we're not being productive. And I'm like, we ain't being productive and we constantly keep moving, ma'am. Like next week, we still in the same 3 months. Same lady. Like, listen,
What is something?
I was something.
You
I was not soft as a child because it's my aunt, it takes my aunt to truly talk about how at the age of 13, I was very vocal and my mom would truly try to shut me down. But when we talk about soft, my mom was so hard. Like when she would get upset, when something would happen, when bills couldn't get paid or anything, my mom completely shut down. She didn't talk to us. She didn't talk to my stepdad. She was angry. She was always angry. And I feel like my oldest brother and my oldest sister really got it the worst. Like what I saw her do to them, what I heard her say to them. And I got a lot of it. I was her child that would crawl in a corner with a book and try to be as quiet as I possibly could or stay out of the way. But there were times when I couldn't because there was a pull on me to get up and wash the dishes or get up and do this and get up and do that, which I hated doing, which caused a lot of trauma in my life. Um, but she was so hard that it was like, okay, can I get you to stop for a moment and try to figure out what the solution could be? We didn't grow up in church. Child, I started going to church because of the boys that went to school with me. Okay, this boy's dad is the pastor at the church. I'm just gonna start going to him because everybody go to that church. So I mean, she had us in church every now and then, but it wasn't something, I'm telling you, it was a very infrequent visit to our home was faith.
So as you grew up, if someone called you soft, that wasn't received well, was it?
Oh no, nobody ever called me soft. I didn't get called soft until I was in my 30s and met my current husband. I hated it when he called me soft because of the way I parented. That triggered me so bad. And
Mm.
it triggered me because my mom was so hard. And early on in my teenage years, this was my question. Is this really how a mother treats her children? Is this really how a mother treats her children? There's no way that you could get me in my teenage years to fully conceive or to fully agree with that's the way that a mother mothers her children. There's no way.
I'm glad we took this route because a lot of the things that you've been saying in the last few minutes, man, really speak to so many things that I read in the book and put so many more things and give me so many more pieces to the puzzle.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and I think this interview already is going to speak to so many individuals that have walked through the same or worse or less than upbringing as you have. Because anyone that have been through those rough parenting, and it's no fault to the parent. This is what they
Right.
know.
No blame.
Yeah,
No
no
blame
blame to
at
the parent.
all.
This is what they know. I wish our parents would have had a better upbringing and better life so they could give us more if they would have been able to really walk in that. But this has helped me even dealing with a lot of the things that I grew up with my parents. But this is going to help, and I hope it will help so many young ladies to be able to walk in their femininity, and they don't
Yeah.
have to be so hard, but they don't have
Yes.
to be so easy either.
Yes. And that survival, that hardness from my mom spilled over into my teenage years. When I moved to New York, that life,
Yeah, yeah, that was something you said about it. I love how you said the what Mississippi played in your life and what New York played in your life. There were a couple of things you said, and then the way you placed them. talking about the different states and the different cities, man. It was beautiful. I love the way you yeah, I love the way you demonstrated your experiences through your words. Um, you told me why it was called soft and how you came about coming up with the name of it. You said you would never compare it to the word soft in your lifestyle until you met your current husband.
Yes.
Do you think he called you soft because he saw the softness in you?
No, that was not the reason he called me soft initially. Nope.
Or was it compared to his style?
It was compared to his style. It was definitely compared to his style of parenting. Because when he called me soft for the first time, it was because of how I spoke to the girls at the time. It was how I parented them.
Okay, so it wasn't that. So, okay, if that's the case, was it or was it not a true statement?
He looked at it probably was a true statement. So
No,
yeah, I'll say I think it was a true statement that I am much softer than what he comes from. For sure. Yes.
but it just triggered you in a way that the word.
Yes, the word soft just triggered me in a way. It's like, why does my parent have to be called soft as opposed to loving? Why couldn't it be called something totally different than soft?
Okay, so while we're here and people reading this book right here, this book soft, got some little light issues on it. This book soft. Wording is everything, and how you're raised is going to really affect how you receive something said to you by your spouse.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You just said that why couldn't he use loving instead of soft? Wonder if he didn't see that as loving because of how he was raised. And this is some of the things that as I'm reading this book,
Yes.
as I've grown in my parenting, how I see things so much differently because of my wife and her showing me how to be softer in my parenting, which led me to be more loving. So talk about that because you said something about it in the book a couple times. How important it is to walk in the softness because you start to see love differently.
Mm-hmm.
You
Walking
start
in
to see
my soft
parenting differently. Yeah.
So walking in my softness, you see love so much more different. You see trust differently. You see protection, security, vulnerability different when you begin to walk in your softness and when you begin to see someone else embrace that softness and not mock that softness.
Mm.
And I felt like when my husband first called me soft, he was mocking me. That's what I felt in that word soft. And it triggered something in me as if I wasn't doing it right. And that if I did it that way, I was hurting my children in the process. And what did that make me?
What do you want readers to get from this book? If you had to give me one hard statement to say, this is what I want my readers to see, feel, receive, and experience while reading this amazing book called Soft, can you give me something that will reach all masses?
That's good. I believe what I want the reader to get out of this more than anything is that you are not defined by your past. You have an opportunity to get it right. It is not too late. It is not too late to surrender to your soft. This book is more than a memoir. This book is a movement. It's a movement for every woman to lay down their hardness, that thing that they have been trying to prove as their strength. Like, I'm a strong black woman, or I'm a strong mama, or I'm a strong wife. God's not asking you to be strong. He's asking you to surrender your soft. He's asking you to be soft enough
That's good.
to receive his calling, his purpose, and his plan over your life. The word tells us clearly, I can do abundantly, exceedingly, more than you can ask, think, or imagine. And when we surrender to our soft, he proves his word does not return to you void. It does not. It has yet to return to me void.
It's true. There's a verse in the Bible that says, I've never seen
Righteous
the
forsaken
righteous forsaken, begging for
or
bread.
begging for bread. And this is not about financial gain.
Right,
It
right.
is about like when you tap into God's plan, calling, and purpose for your life, I will not tell you that it's going to be an easy walk. It's not. It's going to be a dying to yourself daily. Every single day, getting up and dying to yourself. Because that dying to yourself allows you to be led by His Word and the Holy Spirit and not by your flesh.
I have I have a question for the readers. Have you had a chance to read the book yet? Most people I've talked to that written books have went back and read their books, and they are amazed by even what they've written.
hmm
Have you had an opportunity to read the book in entirety or read some of the book?
So I've read some of it. I haven't gone back to read it in its entirety.
Okay. What was your opinion? What were your thoughts of it?
It is amazing. So I was doing the audiobook. I was doing the audiobook and I kept having to stop and call Joaquin and say, "Why you didn't tell me this book was so darn good?" He was like, "I told you. I told you." I was like, "This book is good.
That's awesome.
Good."
That's awesome.
Yes.
Look, if you don't mind, there are. Could I read a passage out of the book?
Sure, sure.
But before I read the passage, as you reread the portion of the book that you have read and thought about what you've written, have you thought about what that says about who you are now and where you've come from?
No, I hadn't thought about it that way. I hadn't thought about like what does that say about me and how far I've come. I
Yeah.
haven't had the opportunity yet to reflect on like, oh my God, I've come so far. Like, oh my God, like that used to be me and now this is me. I haven't had that opportunity yet. I'm not sure when I'm gonna have that moment, but I'm sure I'm gonna have it.
Do you think that's pivotal for individuals, male and female, to have that time to themselves to really see their growth?
Oh my gosh. Yes. It is critical that you have that opportunity to self-reflect. I feel like self-reflection should be a part of your everyday life. Like every day you need to reflect on those things because too often we have people say certain things about us that we don't receive. Okay. But understand they're on the outside looking in and they see certain things on you. Like I will never forget like walking through a very tough time in my marriage, in this last marriage. In the current marriage, I'll say that. In this current marriage where Joaquin has had to call some stuff out in me. And y'all, let
He
me tell
wasn't being
y'all.
soft?
Hmm?
He wasn't being soft?
Oh no, he wasn't being soft. I told y'all he didn't tap into his softness until 15 years into this marriage now. So we 3 years into his softness, okay? But I remember there were times when Joaquin would say things to me or tell me what I look like, what I just said, what it sounded like. And after a while, I had to sit with that because I realized that Joaquin wasn't trying to hurt me. Joaquin was not telling me these things to hurt me. Joaquin needed me to see me for who I was. He saw the softness in me well before I saw softness in myself. He saw me walking in my femininity well before I saw me walking in my femininity. And he had to call those things out of me as me being his wife and him seeing me want to grow. And I had to sit with them as much as I may not have agreed with it when he said it. After I sat with myself for a moment, I'd be like, he ain't lying. I used to be like, dang.
So the truth does hurt.
It was in those moments, you'd be like, you don't want to tell Daddy, right? But he was right. So it's truly about allowing the people you know who truly love you and who want nothing but the best for you to be able to call those things out so
Yeah,
that you can sit with it for a moment
yeah,
and say, okay, I see where that kind of needs to shift in me.
yeah. Especially when they want the best for you and it's not a gain to them. Yeah,
Yes. Yes. It's not just a gain for them. This is so that you can walk in the calling that God has on your life.
that's good. That's good. Thank you for that. Do you see yourself continuing to be soft and softer or softening as the years go on?
For sure. I do see myself softening. And
Okay.
remember, that softness, I really want to speak to this because I want to drive this home to men and to women because I feel like men also need to walk in inner softness and in a vulnerability in order for them to grow and be everything that God is calling them to be as husbands.
I like that. I like the fact that men, y'all hear that. She's not calling you soft. She's asking you to be vulnerable. Some men
Yes.
can't receive being called soft,
Hmm.
but you can work on being vulnerable.
Yes.
And if that's what you need to compare those two words or combine those two words, let it happen.
Yes.
All right.
Not necessarily, that's okay. Not necessarily that he's soft. He's vulnerable.
Yeah.
And women, when that man is being vulnerable, you've got to
Take
take
that.
he's fragile.
Yeah.
Handle with care.
Yeah.
Handle with care. No matter how frustrated you might be at him in those moments, you still handle that man with care. Because what you need from him in those moments is going to require you to walk in your softness and your femininity in those moments too.
What they do
Okay.
right now? I'm doing it with the wrong finger.
Clock it.
What we're doing like them catch me.
Yes, clock it.
I'm not doing it no
It
more.
it's going to require you to walk in your femininity in those moments. I actually forgot what I was about to where I was going with that, Joaquin. Do I see myself softening?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I do see myself softening, and I want to bring to the forefront that the softer I become does not mean that I lose my voice, my value, or my vision.
Yes.
That does not mean that for me as a woman because I'm walking in my softness. My
You
softness and my femininity has set me at more tables than Survivor ever would.
mm, mm. You have a chapter in here. You have a chapter in here saying that talking about your femininity, and I believe that. I've told my wife that so many times over the last few years that the sexiest thing about her is her walking her femininity, because
Yeah.
the femininity that's the gateway to our hearts. That's what, man. That's what makes us vulnerable. That's
Mhm.
what makes us put. I don't want to deal with a woman who's got her guard up all the time and trying to fight me as if she has testosterone. I need that woman to make a soft place for me where I can just let all my worries go.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. I have two spots I want to read. One is talking about trauma, and the other is talking about. And I want you to choose which one I read.
Okay. Are you coming out of the healing the chapters on healing
This
or?
is a chapter on healing. So it's going to be either about trauma or healing. And I'm just read a paragraph. I'm going to read just a little snippet of it.
No problem.
Which
Go
one
ahead.
would you go? Trauma or the healing part?
Go ahead.
Healing. Same chapter. It's just different pages. Okay. This is good, y'all. Y'all got to hear this. Oh. But let's be honest. Healing is uncomfortable. Healing asks questions we've avoided. Healing challenges narratives that once protected us. Healing requires us to grieve not only what happened, but what should have happened. Healing dismantles coping mechanisms that once kept us alive, but no longer serve us. This is why so many people resist it, because healing feels like loss before it feels like freedom.
Yes.
Hey, let me tell you something. I highlighted, if y'all can see, I have highlighted and asterisk marks in here. But that was one part that I made some spots for stuff because that is so true.
So I'll tell you, my two of my favorite chapters
Hmm?
is the healing is not an option, it's a necessity, and healing without the closure component.
That was it. Chapter 11 was healing. It's not an option, it's a necessity. That's what I just read out of.
I'm telling you,
I don't care if you're male or female. Y'all look at me right now. I don't care if you're male, female, 16 or 60. If you've been through something, whether it be family, loss, or divorce, man, this chapter right here, it's gonna make you reflect on something.
yeah,
This book made me think of so many people in my family, so many people I've grown up with, so many people I went to school with that I know have walked through certain and tough spots in their life
yeah,
what they haven't healed from yet. And I'm telling you, this book makes you think about things a little differently. And it's not going to hit you like it hit me. But those, I'm telling I can go through this book and just pick out parts from chapter one to the end. Even, oh, I don't even want to talk about the letters at the end. Oh,
hmm
I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop talking because
Yeah.
you.
No, my sister called me and she said, Stacey, I was reading the introduction online. And she said, girl, my sister called me 4 times. I was in a professional development meeting and my sister had called me 4 times. And when I got out of the meeting, I was like, what? You've called me 4 times. She said, I ordered my book today, but online I was reading the introduction. She said, Stacey, I cannot wait to read this book. She said, just reading the little part that I did read, she was like, oh my God. I sat there and I said, I walked through this with her. Like this was my life with her. So and she said, Stacey, this is going to resonate with so many people. She said their story might not be similar, but this, yeah, she did. She called, she said, I could not wait to get you on the phone. She was like, I could.
Well, I'll tell anybody, man. I wasn't a big reader until I met my wife, because I finally got to a point where reading grew me. I allowed reading to grow me. And when I was blessed with this book, first copy, when I was blessed with this book, I said to myself, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna read 2, 3 chapters, and then I'm going to go do some work. Y'all, my wife called me sometime later, and she asked me, "What are you doing?" And I said, I'm reading this new book by Stacey Loper called Soft. And she said, Oh, how is it? I said, It's amazing. She said, What chapter are you on? I said, Chapter 9. She said, What? I said, Yeah, I couldn't stop reading. And what's crazy, I went back and read a couple of the earlier chapters when I read something in like chapter 6 or 7 that made me reflect and think about something she said in the previous chapters. I had to go back and read them again, and I highlighted some more stuff because it touched on some nerves that I know I dealt with. And be quite, let's be real. Some of the things we say we've dealt with, we're truly still dealing with. We've just had them under enough control that they don't trigger us in a way that we have it under control. But we've
Mm,
never hit it. We've never got to the root of the problem. So I'm telling you, this book, if you're truly ready to heal,
yeah.
if you're truly ready to heal or walk that journey, or you don't know how to get there, this book, I'm not trying to sell y'all. You just have to see it for yourself. And I believe I can speak for Stacey on this. As the people who've gone to purchase this book and experience this read, man, put your comments online. Put your comments. Go to her website. Give them your website so they can go to. They can make the comments they need to make. We don't need them reading the whole book, but they can go on there and let them know how it impacts them. Do you want that?
Sure, sure. They can go into my contact form, send me in a message, or they can always go on Facebook or Instagram. Our Facebook page is Beyond Words Christian Therapy Bar, or our Instagram at blended underscore and underscore winning. My personal page, Stacey Loper. You can go on there and leave comments about your thoughts about the book and
Now,
how it impacted your life, or how you was like, oh no, this was just redundant and I didn't like it, and she was very vague, and
we accept those comments too, because
yeah, I
when you,
accept all of them because I want to know.
but I know you a lot from this that TikTok page, that local
Yeah,
lady.
that Loper lady.
Yeah.
Yes, that Loper lady. You can also leave comments there as well.
Okay. I look forward to it. I truly look forward to this. Um, Man, this has been an honor. This has been an honor. Can you see yourself being a best-selling author?
Yes, it's already done. It's already done. Like I have no control over this. This is God's book.
Yeah.
This is God's ordained design for my life, and so much more to come. Many more books to come.
So with you saying that, we know we've heard and learned this is your second project, on the second that you put out. What made you want to become an author?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I've always wanted to be an author. From when I was a little girl, I love literature. I love English. I love all the things words. And I don't know, just making a difference. And I've always felt that the way that I make a difference in this world is through my writing.
Mm.
So,
So talking to if you right here on Breaking Through the Noise podcast,
mhm.
if you could tell younger Stacy something to get her to see how to be softer earlier, what would it be?
Mm. Oh man. I think I would have told younger Stacy that it's not about what everybody else wants from her. Because it was always a Stacey this, Stacey that, Stacey's gonna do this, Stacey's gonna do that. You know, I think if I would have tapped into it much earlier, that I needed to be what God was creating me to be and not what everybody else said you should be because of your talent, because of your smarts, your wits and things of that. It's like,
Your
no.
looks.
So what now?
Your looks.
My looks and all that. I mean, I think I would have tapped into the greater calling and purpose on my life in my 20s.
Mm, amazing.
Thank you.
But walking yourself now, it looks good on you. No,
Thank
no, no disrespect to your husband. You know, just saying what I had. Thank you for being a guest. And I just want to, make sure I honor him and just say, man, you have a beautiful wife and she looks good. Keep being who you are. You're an amazing man for her to be able to walk in her softness. So, do you feel that any woman out here that's able to walk in her softness, that is a wife, she has to have that kind of husband that sees her?
Yeah, he has to see her. If he does not see her, then what he does is he does nothing but harden her softness.
Mm.
He doesn't allow her to walk in that. And when he doesn't allow her to walk in that, she feels diminished. She feels silenced. She feels rushed. She feels all of those things when her husband, that one who's supposed to love her, protect her, be her security, be her soft and safe place, when he does not own that softness with her, yeah, it's difficult for her to walk in it.
So, Stacey Loper, the author, what do you see in your future?
Oh, books upon books upon books, books and books. Yeah, I see several more books, conferences, speaking engagements. I see all of that. And I was telling someone at church today when they were like, "Are you still working?" I was like, "Yeah." I ain't going away. I love the education industry. And I work in early childhood now. I will not be leaving that anytime soon. I love what I get to do every single day because I also feel like I'm walking in my softness in that role that I am currently in. And it's just, man, it gets to be it's a ministry. It's not work.
Yeah,
It is when I get to get up and do every day, it's a ministry.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Reading some things about you as I was researching, can we foresee any projects from you and your husband together?
I hope so. I hope so. I just got to, get my hooks in him and just reel him in and get him in a place for a couple of months so that we can truly just tap into a project together. Yeah. Yeah, my husband be all over the place. He does. Yeah.
Okay,
But you can definitely foresee a couple of projects coming from us in the future.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, look, Stacey Loper, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being a guest today.
Absolutely.
Breaking through the noise.
It's been fun, actually. It has really been fun being on.
Awesome, awesome. That was my goal because some people don't get out. I tried to calm myself down today and be a little bit more. You like my jacket. This is my first time wearing a jacket and stuff. I want fashion.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Stacey Loper, people. This launches April the 21st. It will be available in
On my website, www.staceyloper.com.
Mhm.
It is also available on barnesandnobles.com, amazon.com, and it will be available as an audio book.
Oh yeah.
May 1st, it will be available as an audio book. So download, 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 download.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
For the people who are watching this podcast episode, are there any ways for people to get you into their city, into their town, to do a book signing or a book reveal or a book reading?
Yes, they can go to my website, go to the contact page, and put in the information. The city, What time frame? Is it a conference? Is it just a book signing, a meet and greet, a sip and see? What kind of type of event would you like? So they can go onto my website again, www.stacey, that's with an EY, loper.com. Go to the contact page and they can reach out to me that way.
Okay. And this is everyone. This is businesses, churches,
Yes.
schools, whoever may need it.
Yep.
All age groups and all, right?
All age groups and all. Yes.
Cool. What would be the youngest age you would give this to a young lady?
13.
13.
13. Yes.
You think they'll be able to comprehend that at 13, some of this stuff?
Yes. Because at the end of the book, there is like an appendix in there that's called What I Didn't Know I Needed.
Yeah.
And sometimes that little girl that coming into her teenage years needs to understand where mom is. And what I didn't know I needed are letters. They are letters to my child, letters to my parent, letters from that boy to his parents, that girl to her parents, that parent to their children,
Good.
that man to that woman.
Yeah.
That it's a dear God letter in there. It's and so I do believe that even if that story, my story, does not resonate with them right now, what they didn't know they needed, it would.
That's good. That's good. It's better to have information and have something to fall back on
Yes.
before something happens, opposed to
Yes.
trying to find the information afterwards.
Exactly.
That is good.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, thank you so much for being here. Hey, look, I will say this to any viewer watching this on the podcast, whether it be YouTube, Breaking Through the Noise, or Instagram, Breaking Through the Noise. If you know someone that probably needs this book, I mean, inbox me, and I would love to bless them with their book. Now I'm only gonna bless one or two, and I want to take proceeds away from this States, but I want to bless somebody with the book seriously because it now in my 40s, this book has touched me, and I wish I'd have had some of this information
Mm,
to fall back on when I was 15 and 16,
that's good.
to see myself differently, and to see my parents differently,
Mm-hmm.
to see my parents
Yeah.
differently.
I wish I was able to see my mom differently too.
Yeah, because to be able to see it in a different light
Yeah.
gives you a different perspective on who they are, so
Yeah.
you can be who you need to be for the future you,
Yeah.
and for the future of your family. So what I've heard Stacey say today is her family would never look the same because she learned how to be soft. And that resonates with her husband, her kids, her grandkids, her grandkids' kids, because what she's pouring out of her softness is going to affect generations to come. Thank you all for being here for this episode. My name is Joaquin Loper, and this is the beautiful, talented Stacey Loper, here with her new memoir.
Yes, it's a memoir.
Yeah, her new memoir, Soft. And once again, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, Amazon, StaceyLoper.com. You have no excuses about I couldn't find it. We got you.
Yeah.
I mean, she got you. Look, thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Till next time, hey, my name is Joaquin Loper. We love you and see you next time. Bye, y'all.